How's it going, people? Welcome back to the Big Six. Hope everyone is all well. I see it's over 100 likes already. That's what I like to see. Let's make sure we hit the like button as we come in, people. Get those likes to over 500, over 1,000, nice and early. I'm not going to just crack into it because we're already about 9 minutes late. Apologies for that, people. But yeah, where should we start? You know, I thought we were going to start with the Arsenal United game, but I think we might as well. The less said on that, the better. Tobes, I feel like this week is your week, my guy. You know, we were saying it just a minute ago that every week it seems to be someone different in the firing line, and this week is as much. You know what? You're kind of like me in terms of your balanced opinion about your club and a bit unbiased. So it's not really fair, but you are the representative, so you're gonna have to take it on the chin, my guy.
Yeah, I am. Me and GRIZZ, we had a preview on Tuesday, and GRIZZ was confident that Liverpool were gonna beat us. I thought we'd have enough bottle to try and do something in that game, and then we lose, fair enough. But then you think, okay, Brighton, I wasn't really expecting to dominate the ball, but you'd think, Kane or no Kane, this is a side that hadn't won a single home Premier League match in almost 12 months. They hadn't won a single Premier League home match all season so far. And we go there and we put in the most abject performance you'll ever see. And the worst thing is, it's not even like I can point to that as a one-off. I've seen that performance time and time again under this manager. With Kane, without Kane. A lot of people will point to the fact that, oh yeah, we didn't have Harry Kane, that's why we lost. We're dependent on Harry Kane. We are dependent on Harry Kane, but even when Harry Kane plays, you see that this team stutters because fundamentally we are not coached well enough to put teams under sustained pressure. We're not coached enough to control games, and our defense is absolutely terrible. So I could sit here and go in on Jose Mourinho, and I will at some point, but I'd be lying if I said that it's all down to him. He's a big problem because he's the type of manager that turns. He's not going to turn lemon into lemonade. He's going to turn lemon into piss. Yeah, Pochettino turned lemon into lemonade. He turns lemon into piss, and we have a bunch of lemons in our team now, and they're not going to take us anywhere fast. And then on top of that, we're not able to score. We're not able to create chances, and we're missing a couple of key players as well. So it's a sticky period for us.
I can't lie, Pochettino wasn't hung out to dry for this. You know, he wasn't hung out to dry for this, I'm sure of it. And I think there's 3 men in here that have seen pretty much the same from Mourinho in terms of, you know, being at their club. And, they got double your shots. I'm looking at it now, 18-9. They had more shots on target. You know, it was a 1-0. But overall, you look at it, and statistics don't say everything. But if you watch the 90 minutes too, I'm not sure where you man are going with Jose.
They should have won more than. I don't even understand how it ended 1-0. It should have been 2-0 or 3-0. Like, not once did we have proper control of that game. Not once were we able to put out wave after wave after wave of attack. And even from when I saw the starting lineup, that's when I knew, like, yo, something's up here. Because I mean, he's stuck with this 3-4-3 shape. We've got no wing backs fit. Turkish. We've got we've got Matt Doherty, but he's playing like a sack of crap, so we weren't going to start him. And he plays Sissoko and Davies as his wing backs. Can you tell me what width we had in that whole 90 minutes? Absolutely nothing. And then, and the one thing as well, that I want to put to bed. Everyone keeps saying, oh yeah, there's a Jose agenda, there's a Jose agenda. There isn't a Jose agenda. A lot of Spurs fans are firmly aware that there are several players in this team, like Sanchez, like Dyer, like Doherty, like Serge Aurier, as good as he's been, like I'm trying to think, Lucas Moura, Lamela. We know there's so many players in this team that aren't at the level to be starters at our club, and yet they are starters. But it doesn't help when you have a manager who sets you up to fail. And he may not be intentionally telling these players, go out there and play like a sack of crap. But because of the way you coach them by design, that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. And it doesn't help as well when we have blunt attackers. I can read you the stats as well. 49 combined appearances between Vinicius, Gareth Bale, Lucas Moura, Eric Lamela, and Steven Bergwijn in the league. Of course, obviously, it's not just all starts, couple sub appearances as well. 2 goals, 2 assists between 5 players.
That's mad. It's mad.
These are the
man. If you're Daniel Levy now, and you sack Mourinho today, Who's the manager for you? Who you think can turn it around? Who would you bring in? I mean, realistically, I know he can't. You know, someone who you think, honestly, Spurs either could pay compensation and drag in, or someone that's available. Who would you have now to turn you around?
I don't think he's going anywhere though. But if we had the funds, to bring someone else in and get rid of him and pay him off, I would honestly go and get Ralph Hasenhüttl if he's available. I would give him the money available and get him to come and turn this around, because he's experienced at working with players of a lesser quality, and he has that like-minded approach to Pochettino where he makes sure that he squeezes some bit of quality out of every single player he's got in his team. There are so many players in that Southampton team that are not fit for purpose, and you see them, and you see him getting a tune out of them.
Do you think Gareth Bale signing? Do you think he's just come over here on a jolly up or what? Because you don't seem to be doing too much.
To play golf, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gareth Bale's not serious.
You know what? I feel like he had the best intentions, because I feel like he was happy taking the piss out of Real. So I feel like with that move, I was not overly worried, but I thought to myself, it's interesting one, because it looks like he might want to, and he was still getting the money he's getting anyway, just split between the clubs. Do you really think
what's going on with Dele Alli there? I mean, we all know Dele Alli's he's got off the rails, but surely to God, a good manager, if you're dropping him and making a point, surely a good manager would have him in and say, right, listen, he ain't going anywhere. So you've got two options. You either stay in the reserves, or you prove everybody in this club wrong and you get a grip of this team and you drag us, because the kid's obviously got talent. So why is he not playing?
I think with that one, obviously, you saw it in the documentary. Jose said that he's a lazy trainer, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like Jose Mourinho, I don't think he likes Ali's type of player. And I feel like he gave Ali every bit of opportunity in the early part of 2020 to stake his place in his team. Ali didn't play well, and as you saw during the restart, I think after the first game or so, Ali wasn't really starting games, and then you saw it again at the start of this season. He started against Everton, and then I don't think he started a single game again in the league this season. So I don't think he likes Dele Alli's type of player, but it hurts. It hurts when we see someone of Ali's quality on the bench and we see the likes of Lucas Moura and Lamela getting minutes ahead of him, because this is what happens. We go through the motions. We're down in the dumps and we're in bad form, and then all of a sudden we as Spurs fans, we champion this one player that's going to be the solution. Unfortunately, Dele Alli isn't the solution. There's a reason why Jose Mourinho dropped him in the first place, because his type of player brings too many deficiencies to our team in terms of his ability to hold up the ball, in terms of him releasing the ball quickly, and in terms of him actually being a creative outlet. So the best move would have been for us to sell him in January and bring in a replacement. But now that he's not going anywhere, I want to see him get minutes. I want to see him get some minutes.
You was the only one to predict this, not the score, right, but the result. You're the only one that said Brighton to win. Was it more tongue in cheek, or was it serious?
No, I mean it was slightly just giving Brighton a bit of hope, because they do try and play the right way. And the thing is with Tottenham is that I've been listening to Toby for weeks, and I've been taking on board just how negative they are, and then I see them against Brighton as well, and I think to myself, it's like Jose Mourinho for me sometimes doesn't realize some of the players that he has in store. I'm not saying that you've gone through some of the players. They don't have a perfect team, but they have a lot better players than the way that they're performing. Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like sometimes he doesn't understand the quality that he has under him. Do you know what I mean? He's very, very negative. So for me, I just felt like, giving Brighton the win, because they're a team that try and play the right way. They want to create opportunities. They don't have the talent Tottenham do, but they approach the game the right way. And they showed that as well with the chances created. So it wasn't madly surprising. I've been one of those people to give Jose Mourinho a chance in terms of, Tottenham haven't won a trophy in a long time. We've spoken about it, and obviously that's really what he was there to bring, is a trophy. At this point, get him to bring that Carabao Cup home, and then maybe you need to start looking around, because he's not doing wonders.
True, man. That's true.
Not impressive.
Carabao Cup, though, man. I'm not having that. I know he's going to turn around and act like he's done his thing.
Matisse is right, though. Matisse is right, man.
Being for real, when you don't win anything, you take what you can get.
But Turkish, you hit the nail on the head, and we've had this discussion before. And you know what? Yeah, you don't even take my word for it. Harry Redknapp used to be a former manager at Spurs. He used to be a full manager at Spurs. He finished top. So he was with us 4 seasons, and then out of those 4 seasons, he finished top 4 twice. Harry Redknapp went on TalkSport recently, and he even said it himself. Yeah, anything other than top 4 in from the owner's eyes, from our owner's perspective, is a disaster. It's a disaster for Daniel Levy.
Who are you displacing though in that top 4 though, Toby?
Pardon?
Who are you displacing in that top 4? You know,
Who's
if you've got
there
Man
now?
City.
So,
No, I'm just saying, like in general, like you know, you got the Man City, regardless of the form. You know, you would expect Man City, Liverpool, and Man United to be in that top 4. You know, then you've got one position.
I think Man United will be dragged into the top 4, but I don't think it's set in stone that Man United are going to finish top 4. I know, maybe you might not think it, but I feel like for me, I've always stayed consistent. Irrespective of who finishes top, Liverpool or Manchester City are locking down top 2, especially now that Liverpool have signed a couple centre backs. They're locking down top 2 because they are simply the 2 best sides in the league, and they got the 2 best managers. So that one is not even up for debate for me. 3rd and 4th is up for grabs, in my opinion, between Man United, Spurs, Leicester, Chelsea, possibly even Arsenal. You never know. Possibly even Everton as well. Even
you had to add Turkish in there.
Honestly, no. I don't really and truly, I don't believe Arsenal are going to finish there. I don't believe Everton are going to finish there. But what I'm saying is, it's up for grabs. You look how congested the table is now. So I don't think it's set in stone. And I feel like we have an opportunity to finish in the top 4. And our defense, our squad depth, and our manager, it's all letting us down.
Toby, I'm not gonna lie to you. I just feel like for me, Tottenham look like a cup competition team. I think, you know, for me, I would try and reserve all my energy for the Europa League. I think Tottenham, Mourinho could do well in that, you know, in terms of playing that kind of knockout competition. I think he could adapt the style. You know, it's easier to adapt the style and the way he plays in a European competition. Because some of the teams play tiki-taka football, and then you can just hit them on the break with your players like Harry Kane has done. Whereas when I feel like with the Premier League, you can't just play that negative style every week, man. You know what I mean? And it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well, man.
But don't you think we've got our squad is even too big? In fact, like we've got players like Danny Rose, who's not even registered. We've got players like Gazaniga, who don't even get a minute. We've got players like Ali, who don't even make matchday squads. The squad is bloated. So by all means, for me, I see no reason why we can't make a decent fist out of the Premier League, and then also make a decent fist out of the Europa League. I feel like not because of how long and arduous the Europa League is. We're playing a team like Wolfsburg or something like that. You can play fringe players in that first round, depending on who you get. You can play fringe players in the second round. Really and truly, for me, you're only going to need to start playing proper first teamers maybe from quarterfinals onwards in the Europa League.
Yeah, do you know what? Do you know what it is? Yeah, is that I do see where Toby's coming from. It's taken me a while to get there, but you know them American films, where they got the big breakfast laid out on the table, and then the kid just takes the grape, fam. You know, pancakes, eggs, sausage. With Pochettino, you had the big breakfast, Champions League final, great football, and Mourinho's just come. He's not even taking the grape. Do you know what I mean? They talk about Carabao Cup. We talk about top 4. I remember Toby at the start of the season when we was trying to drag him into title race talk. He wasn't having it. Do you know what I mean? He said this team have got a long way to go, but top 4 bare minimum. And now we're talking about Tottenham. Oh, can they even make top 4? It's the same with Chelsea. We're only going to drop our expectations so low. Do you know what I mean? And top 4, it doesn't go any lower than that. If you don't get top 4, then you're starting to flirt with mediocrity. So.
100.
Yeah, it's true. And Tobes, I want to ask you a question before I do. Big up everyone in the chat. Alpha, I see your super chat. It's called the Big Six for a reason. I had to change it from the top 6 because of my club, let alone Chelsea in 7th. And he said Mourinho rather play Gazaniga in midfield. And we've got the real Janice in the building. Turkish Majid. The show is fire, boys. Keep it up. And we've just had one more come through. Tobes.
My team are in the top 6 right now, no?
With all respect, you need replacing with Lee Chappie because Spuds are trash. 1-0 and not a big club. It's a myth. Big Steve, the man. I don't know. Steve's obviously sent someone to the chat. I don't know, one of his cronies.
Yeah, man. Steve's army.
Get me on fan club now. Get me on fan club.
Trust me. I see it already on Twitter. I see someone today on Twitter said, Steve, if you follow me back, it'd make my day, mate. I hope you followed that guy back, you know.
I didn't see him, man. We'll follow him in a minute.
Yeah. Make sure of that. I'm gonna make sure of that. But yeah, people, Who are Tottenham playing this week?
So we got Chelsea.
Ooh, the big one.
Yeah.
We might as well move swiftly onto that. You know, we might as well move swiftly onto that. Where do we even start? Actually, Grizz, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just got some, Liverpool news, man. Everything's sort of everyone, but I don't know if you want to go to Liverpool, but bad news from Liverpool point of view, man. But it's indicative of our season.
2 days ago, we was talking about Mustafi, and now you're talking about one of the hottest young prospect centre backs in Europe. So I think you should be, a little smile.
I should be, but we just got news that Matip's out for the season as well. So this is madness.
That's a big blow, that.
It's mad. So you got the three centre backs, the best three centre backs, along with Diaz, the four best centre in the Premier League, and three of them are all out for the season for Liverpool. Pretty mad. Come on, even every neutral fan knows that's mad.
That's a big blow.
But it kind of explains the madness that we tried to do today. Like to defend centre backs, we tried to go for three. We actually tried to make a third signing as well. So it kind of makes sense, because how can you cater for three centre for the season?
I think the Matip one is expected, to be honest. Like you expect going into every season that you're not going to have Matip for at least 60-70% of the season. But I think the ones that was a mad thing was Van Dijk, because Van Dijk literally played every single minute. Your previous 2 seasons, Joe Gomez played the majority.
I hear you, but it's still shocking when, all right, Matip, I know what you're saying. Like he misses, he plays like 1 or 2 games a month, 3 games a month, but he still plays. And when he plays, he's the bad boy. That's the frustrating part. But
you know what? It's crazy, Matip.
He's so good. He's so.
You know what it is? Everything. One time, Old Trafford. Sorry to cut you off, but there was a game in Old Trafford where he got the ball. Sorry,
I said, "Here we go."
No, I'm just saying. I'm trying to compliment Matip here. You know what I like about him? The way he comes out with the ball. One of the Old Trafford, I think it was a little game when we had mad injuries. He came out the back here and he just darted forward, man. And I always remember that, because I feel like, for me, I like a good centre back that comes out of his box and just goes with it, man, and drives the ball forward. But for me, I think it's a big blow, man, because at the end of the day now, it puts big pressure on them two coming up.
Mad.
I know it's like,
mad pressure. It's mad pressure.
Mad pressure, man.
We've just bought the best, apparently one of the best centre backs in the championship. It's the championship, right? But I still our scouting system that we know what he's about. Apparently, he's in the mold of Steve. I'm not comparing him to Laporte, but stylistic, he's in the mold of where he's elegant, tall, left-footed, very good with through the lines, etc., etc. And then Oz Kabak, Turkish, was talking off like before we were talking. Turkish saying is one of the most, one of the highest, best prospects in Europe seasons ago. Yes, he has sort of reached that potential yet. Yes, he's very raw. He's old. The likes of AC Milan were after him. Apparently, Newcastle had agreed to deal with him just before we jumped in today. I'm not his biggest fan, but the pressure's on him, as you said, Saeed, to come in and
big pressure.
Because at the moment we've got no one. At the moment, centre back fit. Basically,
they're both young as well. They're both young as well, Grizz. Because I read about Kabak last summer. I bought one of these. I'm not sure if you know, Scouted Football, and he was one of the ones to watch, because he is. I think in like the Turkish community, he's like highly rated, because I know they got him, Demiral, and Soyuncu. So I know Kabak.
He's rated the highest.
Some of my closest homies. Sorry,
go on, Grizz.
I was gonna say some of my closest homies are Turkish. Yeah, they're not a bunch about any of their players, so I wouldn't go based on their opinion of a player.
I need to see him. I've never watched him play.
Now, you know what? He's got all the attributes needed to be a success, especially in the Premier League too. He's rough. He can put himself about, but he's also not bad on the ball too. In terms of distributing out of defense, he's not the greatest. It's something that he might need to work on for Liverpool, but he is good enough at the moment to go in there and hope. Well, in terms of being Turkish myself, hopefully he's a success in the Premier League. But in terms of going from Mustafi and some of the names we heard on Friday to what you did today, Grizz, I've questioned Liverpool's flexing power in the past couple of years, or not pulling power, because you got pull. It's the club flexing. In terms of Thiago, you waited for the right moment. Jota, it was an easy buy for you lot. With this one here, you was under pressure in the last few days to get something done. It sounded like you was going to do a cheap option. It sounded like you was going to do something, you know, that you wouldn't be happy with. But in my opinion, bringing in the defender that you was linked with in the summer, you had interest in Kabak in the summer. I think that's a pretty big move. It's a pretty big, bold statement, in my opinion, that you want to retain this title when you know, kick on.
I need to send you stats.
I need to send you stats. 1 second. I genuinely feel it's too late for the top. I genuinely feel City will win the title, but it gives us a fighting chance, and that's all we asked for from the owners. Give us a fighting chance, man. For fuck's sake, get us back so we got something.
Check what I sent you in the WhatsApp, Grizz, on these stats. He looks like he's actually quite strong defensively, though. So,
yeah, this season,
it's an animal year. Indy's mad. I haven't checked this, but I don't see. I was going to say this is 2019-20
last season.
See, I get that, but every time I've seen him play, and it's very difficult to judge a player when he's in such a poor team. Yeah, it's very difficult. They're terrible. Yeah, they're terrible. They're Schalke, absolute awful team, and so it's difficult to assess a player. Turkish is spot on with the raw attributes he's got. He's an absolute, he's a physical specimen. You know what I mean? And he is mad, and that's what kind of gets you halfway to success in this league, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? So, and when he's playing alongside the likes of Virgin, come as you like, it will be fine. But it's just the pressure that he's gone into now, because we're looking top of the table. We're looking Champions League. We want the elitist of elitists to be straight, performing. So let's see how it goes. But I don't know if you want me to touch upon West Ham.
No, we'll slowly get into that as well. Yeah, you might as well go on round it up. Because it's 2 away wins on the trot, big ones. Go on, round it up. Why not?
I can't speak highly enough of him. I'm not just saying it. We went to West Ham, 6 wins in a row. I think a couple of you, maybe 1 or 2 of you, expected a draw. No, I think someone said something. I think Matisse made a howler this week. Yeah. So you win some, you lose some. but because he got the Spurs one, but he mashed up with the Liverpool one. But look, we went there. Everyone was talking about what Antonio was going to do to Phillips and Hendo. For now, what's his name? Benrahma. Yeah. So that's all we were hearing about what they're going to do to us, and how they're going to bully us, etc., etc. But for me personally, all things considered, that was the best performance of the season. We dominate. You got no Mane. Oh shit, we had no Mane, no Bobby, and no centre backs. Gini goes again. Milner, 3rd game in 6 days. Old man getting cramped. Thiago not fully fit for the Premier League, but still has to just. We got no choice. Had to turn up. From a Liverpool fan point of view, I was gassed watching that performance. It was like last season, and the goals. Oh man, because all we've been hearing is Mane's finished, Salah's finished. All right, Mane wasn't playing. Let's talk about Salah. All we heard from opposition fans was, Salah, he's finished. He's been worked out. He's this, he's that. He's one-dimensional. He's a system forward. I don't know what people want from Mohamed Salah. The man is so underrated. The man doesn't get the respect he deserves. He's still top scorer in amongst all this madness of the season, and people saying he's off form and he's finished and he wants out. He's down tools. Watch that game.
That goal, mate. I stood off my couch and clapped him with that goal, because that control, how he brought that down and just pinged it over the keeper. I just stood up and clapped. My missus thought I fucking lost the plot.
It was Suarez.
She thought he lost the plot when.
Suarez scored something like that v Newcastle as well, where he killed it first touch, took it past the keeper, bang.
But guys, you talk about the touch, right? Do you know it was pouring down with rain through the whole game? We've all played football at a certain level, right? And do you know how hard it is to trap something like that? Because Shaq had to put air on it, but it was one of those balls that sort of kind of dipped down, and he had to get it into a touch. That would enable him to shoot in the second touch, if you know what I mean. He didn't have he couldn't possibly have a second touch and then shoot. So yeah, man, Mohamed Salah. Shout out to my boy Mohamed Salah. What a player! What a man! And all these doubters, they need to learn football before they make like all these shouts about he's this and he's that. You learn a bit of football first, and then talk about Mohamed Salah.
Nah, ratings, because he's bounced back, and it looks like Liverpool have bounced back too. But we will move on, so we keep on time tonight. Matisse, over to you and Thomas Tuchel's first win. I see a lot of your tweets about him. You're very happy. You're very happy to say the least, I think.
Extremely, because he's so far. I know it's only been a week and we're very much in the honeymoon period, but he's been perfect. I can't find a fault so far. And I was worried, how would he deal with the British media? He's been perfect, absolutely perfect with them since he's come in. He's rotated. He's brought in a few new things, a few new changes into the team, changing formation, putting Hudson-Odoi at right wing back. No one ever would have even guessed that could be a possibility. He's been brilliant there, and he's taken a blend of Conte's formation, Sarri's want to play progressive attacking football, and Lampard's early stint with doing extremely well with the media and the group in terms of rotation and whatnot, and he's put it all together and he's done extremely well with it. So he's the way that we played against Burnley, and people say it's only Burnley. You can't disrespect any team in this league. From the moment Sheffield United are going to Man United and winning, from the moment Burnley are beating Liverpool, you cannot disrespect any team in this league. So I was very happy to just see a complete Chelsea performance where we played well from start to finish. And the key for me in that second half was that I just knew we was going to win. We was 1-0 up, but the tempo didn't drop. The speed of the ball continued to zip around. The passes were sharp. Jorginho and Kovacic were making forward progressive passes. Mason Mount, Hudson-Odoi were still good, but that's how they've usually been playing in the last month. And we never really looked like we was in doubt. We need to get better at finishing and start putting these chances away. Created a lot on that right-hand side. Hudson-Odoi created a lot. He was the main outlet that game, and he's been brilliant for over a month now, a month and a half. And I've been saying it since really, Ren, where he played, got a goal and then got dropped out of the whole squad for the Tottenham game. So that was ages ago. So he's been brilliant. But yeah, I'm just very impressed with Tuchel in general. I think you have to give a man credit when he comes in and he manages to get a Marcus Alonso, who was dead and out on his feet, out the squad. And then he's coming back in and trying to do Roberto Carlos impressions. Do you know what I mean? So I'm impressed. And now that Tottenham game, for me, we need to go in and try and win that as well, 100%.
But what's everyone saying about this? Is it too soon? Do you get the feeling?
I've always expected. You got to expect a reaction from a new manager, haven't you? I said it last week. I said, look, the place was getting a bit stagnant. It happened with Mourinho at United. Soon as Solskjaer came in, I said it months ago about the biscuit factory syndrome. Innit? You're packing biscuits all day, and the boss is an idiot. Yeah, so you don't want to pack the biscuits. Next minute, some guy comes in, tells you how good this morning, and turns the radio on. You've never packed as many biscuits in your life because you're loving work.
I love that analysis, Steve. Don't change,
there
Steve,
too, yeah. He's the new biscuit gaffer. He's come in there, started throwing them little balls about. The kids are thinking they're back in school, so the Chelsea players are all running around happy as a pig in shit, and he's getting a reaction out of it. It's just, that reaction will come to a peak, and then it'll level off. But listen, that Tuchel's conducted himself really well for me, and he deserves a chance. The media are waiting to kill him. They're all nicey to him now, but don't get me wrong. That media,
he said it though, didn't he, Steve? He said it, Steve, didn't he?
I'm telling you. But at the end of the day, fair play to him. Certain players that Matisse said he didn't expect to play are now playing. Certain players are playing in positions which he never thought of. But that's the thing with a good manager. Klopp's done it. Pep's done it. Certain players who you think he's never getting in this team, all of a sudden a good manager can see something in training and adapt his game to play somewhere. Zinchenko at left back, Delph at left back, Fernandinho at centre back. Little things like that I've seen where I thought, what's he doing? Listen, these German managers, they're not frightened of changing it up a little bit. So fair play to him. Yeah, you got to take it off to him for me.
Yeah, to be honest, I've liked what he said when he's come in as well. Like the way he talks and the way he presents things. I think at Arsenal, one thing I could take from Arteta's arrival at the club is the way he talks, because there's nothing much else to take. It's not the same for Tuchel. He's done stuff in the past, but the way he comes across is very, you can get behind him. You know, you can, and I think that's what you've done. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes for Chelsea over the next few. Let's move on to the top of the league. Steve, obviously, last but not least. What are you saying? 1-0? No one.
Yeah.
Everyone gets the result. No one gets the score.
Yeah.
Well, look, Sheffield United come on the back of that win at Old Trafford, so they're going to be buzzing. So they're going to be thinking, look, we've been to Old Trafford and we got a result, so we can go to City and get a result. We dominated most of the game. We got the job done. It wasn't fantastic, but I've said it before on this show. This season's not about the old Man City rolling teams by 4 and 5. The little 1-0 wins, they get you to the title. Doesn't matter if you win 5-0, doesn't matter if you win 1-0. You get 3 points at the end of the day. Sheffield United on the back of that win at Old Trafford is not an easy game. We've got a really tough month coming up. Really tough month. We've got some big games. We've got Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool on Sunday. We've got Burnley away on Wednesday. So this is the month for us. This is the make or break month for us. This might give a few teams a chance to creep up. We could drop points. I'm not going to say we're going to steamroll everyone because looking at the fixtures coming thick and fast. But we'll see. And listen, at the minute, like you say, we've come on the outside. We're leading the pack. The pressure's on us now. We're not chasing. Everyone's chasing us. And it's down to our lads to step it up without De Bruyne and without Serge, even though Sergio's training again. And just keep picking these wins. If we win 1-0 all the way to the end of the season and win that league, I'll be happy. So I'm a City fan. I'm sure all the Blues in the comments and everyone, we're happy at the minute. So I can't say any more than that.
Saeed, you're smiling over there.
I know, I'm just saying all the Blues in the comments. I mean, I don't know if there'll be many, but yeah. No, it's all good, Steve. It's all good, man. It's all good. Now, you know what it is, yeah? I think what they do is they built on a good defense, man. You know, Diaz is a monster, man. I remember one move where Sheffield United went over the ball and all he did was a simple tackle and then he got up and then he went again, man. I just so wished, man, he came to United because I wanted him before Maguire. So it's one of them, Man City got in there, they got in there, they dug in. Sheffield United, man, they're our team, weren't they? It's crazy how Sheffield United, they're so like, you think like that kind of team, bottom of the team, you know, league, wouldn't have the possession they had, you know, the way they play football, John Fleck in the middle. They're a very, very awkward team, aren't they? And obviously United, they did the business. And City, man, just keep rolling, man. It's that mentality, innit? You know what I mean? They've been there, they've done it. You know, as much as we hate it over our side, but they've been there, they've done it, man. And that's what's, for me, the step up from what we're doing, man. You know, we're just not taking the opportunity and we're just not doing what, you know, the United of old would do. And that's the big advantage.
Yeah, the big advantage, bro. I can't lie to you. I don't really want to discuss our game. I can't, like, there's nothing to discuss.
I said it though, didn't I? I said 0-0, didn't I? And you know, I got a perfect prediction there. 0-0.
You was lucky with that because it should have been a 1-1, 2-2 in reality.
Yeah, 1-1, 2-2.
I'm against this draw business, guys. Turkish, I think you should be very pleased with that performance.
Yeah,
considering you got Oba missing, Saka missing, Tierney missing, Gabriel missing, 4 of your best players, and Man United were full strength. Man United at top of the table. Man United got the best midfielder in the world, etc., etc., etc. They got everything going for them. I thought, I get they had a couple of chances at the end. Very similar. It was very similar to the Liverpool game in a way where they had a couple of chances at the end. You think to yourself, it kids you because you know what United are doing at the moment? They're kidding people. And you think to yourself, oh, they should have won. But when you analyze and look at the game, Arsenal were the team that will look structured. Arsenal, the team that looked like knew what they were doing, how they were playing. And obviously the caliber of player you have wasn't as good as United's. But I personally think if you had Oba and Saka, you win that game. I genuinely think you win that game. I think you could see one team was coached and the other team was, man, go on, deal with the matter. You know what I mean? That's what it was.
You're right. 100 in one sense. I look at it, and before I go further, deep down, Saeed is a City fan. Says one super chat. I see.
Everybody knows it.
Stockport Saeed. Stockport Saeed. Is that what you're saying? Stockport Saeed.
Stockport's too far away from me, mate. Bloody hell. You know
it's got a ring to it. I can't lie, but
Saeed.
With Arsenal right now, there's four, and I said it on a previous show. I don't know if it was last week's Big Six, but there's four key players: Tierney, Partey, Emil Smith-Rowe, and Saka. And if three of those four play, then I'm a lot more confident than if it's two or less. Against United, it was two, and the difference in quality on the pitch is vast when at least two of those are missing. We need all four of them to play. With regards to the point and being happy, I'm definitely happier with the point than SAEED is, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's 2 points dropped for us. It's 2 points dropped, man.
Yeah,
you know
but
I think
as an Arsenal fan, I can only take the defensive organisation and structure and say, you know what, Arteta's done well there, because it was Holding and Luiz. Holding and Luiz have been calamities in the past, and recently Gabriel hasn't even featured much. You know, Holding Marie, Holding Luiz. You know, it's been a variation of combination. So that's the most positive I take out of that game. And the point is a point. Where are we headed anyway? 1 point or 3? I don't see us going anywhere in the league this season. Does anyone here believe we've got a chance for top 4?
Nah, but I feel like I don't think you got a chance at top 4, but I feel like you've definitely gone on a bit of a run to suggest that you can be in the mix for maybe top 6. I don't know, but I don't really trust you lot to finish in the top 4. But again, it sounds like I'm not a Spurs fan, but you never know with how crazy this season is. I don't think it's going to happen, but bro,
yeah, you never know.
If they do it, bloody hell, man. It'll be, you know, it'll be crazy.
That'll be mad. If we did that, and I asked you guys for a reason, because I wanted to see if your opinion matched mine, and everyone's did. GRIZZ, did you actually reply? Do you think we've got a chance at top 4 confidently?
No, I can't say it confidently. I can't say it confidently, but I genuinely think Arsenal on the upward trajectory. That's my opinion. I've said it from start. Even when you look were like near the languishing, whatever. I said, you know what I mean? Eventually, your game will come together, and the players that you mentioned, no doubt, they have to be on the pitch. And if you can get them on the pitch for 80% of the time, I think you've got an outside chance.
I'm not saying nothing more.
Outside.
Yeah. I get it. I understand, because realistically, you look at what's happened this season, you look at the points difference, you look at form and all of that, you see a chance.
It all depends on Odegaard, man. If Odegaard manages to pull out something and he goes on a mad assist run and he affects Arsenal the way maybe Bruno affected us, you never know, man. You never know. You know what I mean? That kind of person you've been missing. If he can sort something out and go on a run there, you never know, man. But it's a slim chance, man. I'll be honest with you.
You know what? This super chat here, I'm gonna save this for the end, because we should have done this at the 19 game stage, but I'll save this question for the end so everyone here can have a think about it. We're just gonna go around at the end and just say who we think the top 4 is gonna be. It's gonna be a very difficult prediction, but we'll try and do that, people. So let's move on to this week's fixtures and the big one. Where do we start with the big one? I see the Lampard top has been folded away.
I know, he hasn't safe.
Okay.
No, because he's still here, but we always change top. This is not. There's nothing secret about it, people. We have to just keep it relevant.
Man just got binned, you know. Man got binned.
The first goal in Thomas Tuchel's era was scored by Captain Cesar Azpilicueta, so we have to honour him. Do you see what I'm saying?
I never took you down as one of those types who always gets names and numbers at the back of your shirts, Matisse.
No. These are all the dad shirts. I don't have this many shirts. I could never afford this many shirts.
Oh, okay, I was about to say because one of my shirts, I don't put it. I'm thinking I ain't wasting 15, 20 pounds.
It has to be a legend. Do you know what I mean? If it's like an Eden Hazard type thing, sometimes then, but not every time. No, the way that they charge for each letter is too much these days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, it's you two that's playing, so I don't know where we're going to start with this, but I'm looking at the game like. Well, Matisse must be more confident, but
yeah,
he should.
I am confident.
He should be more confident
because we went to Tottenham last year with the same formation that we're playing now, and we ate Gucci. Do you know what I mean? We got the win, and that was with a far inferior team. And I think we've played Tottenham already this season twice. We lost them in the cup on penalties, and then we also played them at Stamford Bridge. And I was impressed with how we limited Kane and Son. And the big thing for me in this game is that Kane is not available. Kane is literally Tottenham's top scorer. I know they have Son, but Kane is for me, Kane's been probably the best best attacker this season. I'd say Højbjerg maybe the best signing this season, but I'd say Kane has been the best attacker in terms of, I know Salah's top scorer, but then when you lump in Kane's assists, it's not close for me. You see what I'm saying? Because Kane's been setting up goals for fun. So when you take someone who's the goal scorer and the creator out of the team like that, that's a massive disadvantage to Tottenham. And I just feel like Chelsea, they're on the up. Tuchel's aiming for the win. He's not going there with a negative mindset. He's new. He's fresh on the scene, and he's not going to have any negative thoughts of trying to play for a point. And we can't really play for a point. We've already had our crap form, our crap run of games where we can't pick up wins. And now we're level on points with Tottenham, and Tottenham have a game in hand. So we need to win to just balance out the situation and go for top 4. So I think, there's a lot, I don't know who's going to be left back for Tottenham, but Callum Hudson-Odoi is a proper threat right now. And I think he will start. Other teams we've played recently, they've got the luxury of the fact that we haven't played our informed players. He will definitely start, and I think he'll cause problems. I know Reguilon's a quick guy, but defensively we'll see if he can handle it, because 1v1, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm confident, and especially when there's no fans. This is a 50-50. This is not about who's at home and who's not. So I'm going for the win.
You're confident, bro. So what's going on with this Chilwell, Alonso, Werner? What's happening? What's happening with him? What's
happening with Chilwell is Chilwell's got massively complacent over the last month because he's been shoo-in starter. And this is what happens when you have a player who has no competition for his position in the side. And Chilwell personality-wise has been really good since he came in. But he, first of all, Leicester fans were never disgruntled that he left. They were fine to part ways with 50 million. That was alarm bells ringing for me. He didn't have a great season last year, and he's just got a bit complacent. His performance has just been average. And as much as personally I don't like Marcos Alonso, I'll just get that out there right now. Personally, the way that he conducts himself, the way that he did under Lampard, the way that he has been, and his effort levels tracking back in comparison to the way that he runs and sprints going forward, it reminds me of a kid. Do you know what I mean? The kids always love to run forward, but when it's time to run backwards, the same effort is not there. But the two things Marcos Alonso will bring into this team that I'm happy about, personal beef aside, is that one, he's going to provide competition for Chilwell, so he actually has to play well now and step up his game. And two, the amount of times Chelsea this season have put balls across the box from Reece James, Hudson-Odoi, whoever it may be on that right-hand side, and our strikers are just the nanny men. They can't get their toe on the ball. They can't read the trajectory of the ball. They can't anticipate the situation, and we just continuously put the ball across the box with no end product. Alonso, you can bet your money on it that he will be at the back post, goal hanging, waiting for those crosses, and that's fantastic. It's exactly what this team needs. So, I think I have no problem with it. This team needed to kick up the arse, and it's a clean slate for everyone. So there's gonna be bound to be seniors coming into the team that you would never have thought would have started.
Yeah. Well, what's your prediction then?
I'm gonna give it 2-0 Chelsea. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
Going clean sheet as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Tuchel's limited the Wolves and Burnley, no shots on target for either team, so we're set up nicely.
Sorry to interject, but I can't believe that he's limiting Wolves with no Jimenez and a Burnley team who scored a Burnley team who scored the least number of goals away from home as a metric for
who you got though. Tottenham, that's the problem. Who you've got though? You know what I mean?
What's that?
Then again, who have you got up front though?
No. I'm not saying that we're just going to score.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's
just
still
saying,
positive.
I'm not saying
October. He hasn't been in the league for a week.
I get that.
From creating chances.
Matisse, I have no issue with you saying you're going to come there and keep a clean sheet. What I had an issue with was you using Wolves and Burnley as your barometer. It doesn't make sense to me.
That's what's happening.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he has to use that to gas himself up, though, innit? You know
of course.
But Toby should ride with that. You should ride with that. Let him be.
Yeah,
let him do the talk.
Come on.
Yeah, ride with it. And then next week, if shit happens, then you got ammunition.
Loaded.
The problem is, Grizz, I don't think shit is going to happen. I think his might be spot on.
Mourinho out, man. Come on.
Look, I ain't got a dog in this race here, but I rate Tuchel. I think Tuchel is a top coach. I think he needs time. I just doubt his man management skills. I doubt him staying calm with Romans, the way he runs a club. That's long term, but he will improve Chelsea, I think, over a short term because he's a far better coach than Lampard. But we see how it goes.
Well, so what's your prediction, Grizz? Then might as well get yours.
Is it? Where is it at?
White Hart Lane.
Yeah, I think this has got the makings of a drab 0-0.
0-0, yeah.
Yeah.
Tobes.
I don't think we're gonna win it, but I just need. I'm just not sure if Chelsea have the cojones to come to this ground and win. I know it's cheeky saying that because last season they came there and they took us apart with an inferior squad, but I'm not convinced with Chelsea when they play the bigger sides this season. But for me, it all hinges. We already know Harry Kane and Reguilon are injured. We know Lo Celso's out. But for me, it all hinges on if Ndombele is fit. If Ndombele can't make that game, then by all means, 1,000% Chelsea are winning that match. If Ndombele plays, I can see him being that little spark that tries to get our attack moving. And I can also see him trying to stink the joint out, the manager that is, and play for the draw. So
that's what I'm saying. Does Jose have the balls to do that?
Listen, it's gonna be up to whether he actually plays the striker that we have, the fit striker that we have available, whether he plays the shape that allows us to win, whether he puts players in their proper positions like Sissoko and midfield, etc. So honestly, I don't know. All I can tell you is that we're not going to win that game. I just don't know whether it's going to be 1 point or 3. So with my Spurs hat on, I'm probably going to go for a draw, and I'll go for a 0-0.
0-0 as well. Saeed, what do you think?
You know what, man? Listen, I give Mourinho a lot of stick, but there's something in, and this is nothing against you, Matisse, yeah, but I just feel like Mourinho has to get out of his Tottenham team, man. Has to, man. You know what I mean? And I feel like Son, man, big game player. There's something in this, man, for Tottenham where at home could do, because I think for there was a few chances where I thought in the Liverpool game, you know, there could have been something in there.
Definitely. In the first half, definitely.
First half, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Somebody just tells me, man. 1-0 Tottenham. 1-0 Tottenham. I don't know what it is, man. I've got that feeling. You know, Matisse, man, there's nothing against you, but I know you're looking at me bare hella, you get me, hella. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he's just sacrificing points now for the predictions table, I see.
It's not, I don't think it is, you know. I just feel like Tuchel, you know what I mean? As much as he's done well, listen, I'm going to give credit where it's due, Matisse. You've done well in your first 2 games. You showed a bit about yourselves. But I just don't know what it is, man. I just feel like Mourinho, you know what I mean, will get a reaction out of this team for this derby. One-off game, you know what I mean, against Chelsea. You know, for me, what Chelsea will do, they'll keep the ball all day. I think this is a game what will happen. Chelsea keep the ball, and the next thing you know, one ball over the top, Son, goal. And I've seen it before, and I just feel like, for me, yeah, I'm going to go with 1-0 Tottenham, Son with a winner.
So we got a win for Tottenham, a win for
man.
Chelsea.
I pray you're right, bro. I pray you're right, Saeed.
I don't know, man. There's something about it, man. You know what I'm saying?
He's trying to do a big Steve where he explains it all, but you don't have that juice, bro.
Don't worry, man. We'll see it in the game, innit? Believe in your manager.
Saeed, people in the chat saying your energy is not the same, bro.
No, it's not about that, man. We drew. I feel like for me, yeah, I don't want to take the whole show in it because we're talking about Tottenham. You know what I mean? Last time we didn't touch on the Tuchel, so for me, I don't want to be giving all the, you know, with the glory when we're just, you know what I mean? We're not, you know what I'm saying, bro? No, I don't need to talk, bro.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry. I'm sure you're gonna talk again, Steve. Matisse, what's your? Actually, let me go before you. Before we say the same thing, and then everyone thinks I'm copying. I think 1-1. You know, I think like Jose is gonna welcome him to the league in good old Jose fashion. I think Tuchel's a good manager. He's got that new manager bounce. It's just set up to be a draw. I just think there'll be a couple goals in it. So I'm going 1-1. So Steve, over to you.
I'm going 1-0 Chelsea. I think they'll.
1-0 Chelsea.
I was going to go a draw. I was umming and ahhing, but then when I just had that little feeling, then I thought, yeah, I can see him. I can see that Tuchel having a bit of a run down the touchline and a bit of celebrating, and I can see Mourinho doing his little rant again and storming off and sitting down and sulking and that. So yeah, I can see Tuchel getting a win 1-0 there. Sorry, Toby, but that's what I think's happening, mate.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Not even Toby's confident.
And all them people in the chat that's saying Saeed's lost his energy. He has a little bit. He's like that little puppy.
It's
you know, when you get a puppy
that,
at first, and it's dead excited and that, and he pisses up the carpet and pisses and eats your rug and all that. That's what Saeed was the first few months in this show, yeah. And now he's been slapped down a bit and got his arse levered and thrown in the kitchen.
It's not even that, you know. It's not even that. You know what? It's not even that, you know. I just feel like for me, like, you know, I felt like we needed to talk about Mourinho. I wanted like
You'll be back
Toby
kissing
to
up
have
the
his
curtains
time.
soon, mate. You're back kissing
Saeed,
up the
you're being
curtains.
nice, yeah.
I'm trying to be nice, innit? Because I don't want this show to be about me, innit? Like, I feel like this show's so much about me. I need to
You
be
made it about you. With them
Not
predictions
really.
and them
Not
bold
really.
statements, you made it about
Yeah,
you, man.
Listen, I was only reflecting how Man United felt. We were gassed. We were top of
Somebody
the
in the
league.
chat, yeah. Maybe one of them memes of
Steve,
Saeed
he
dead
was
on a
playing the role,
puppet pissing on
playing
the
the
floor and all that.
characters.
Maybe one of them.
If you want me
What
to
was that,
talk about
sorry? I just feel like we need to about someone else. Like, I feel like it's always about United. So I thought, let me just give it to Toby. Let's speak about Tottenham. You know what I mean? Tuchel, we've not heard about it for a while. So I'm giving the floor to other people. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be respectable. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see if you hold that same stance the next time United win. Let me see.
Listen, I'll be there, man. You get me? Don't worry, man.
If you're gonna be nice, then Steve, let's stick with you for Burnley, Man City, and just go around with that one as well.
It's not one of my favourite places to more. I mean, we do all right there, but it's just one of them where you just don't know what's going to happen, do you? But I'm confident. I can't not be confident the way we're playing. I think this one will be a tight one as well. I think we'll win. I think we might have to grind it a little bit, but I think we'll get the job done. I think we just out possession them all across. I think we just kill the soul. I don't think they get the ball for a long time, and then I think we just, we got to be patient. So I'm going 2-0 City, mate.
2-0 City. Grizz?
I'm going same. 2-0 City. They're on a roll. They're a machine. They're the team to beat. 2-0 City.
Yeah, I can't even lie to you. That's what I'll put down for my one as well. 2-0. I think it's gonna be, just one of those games where all the pressure is gonna be on. Burnley are gonna deal with most of it, all right, but Man City will just tighten the screws. 2-0. Saeed?
1-0 City. 1-0 City. I feel like they'll do the business again.
Matisse?
I'm going to go 3-0 just to try and get that correct score and try and claw back some ground.
You had a good week, Me, you,
I
and
did, yeah. I was just thinking, actually, in my head, the results that happened. I'm actually starting to think it was a decent week. I'm looking forward
Leveling
to
up the table, man. Big up Matisse.
Obviously, everyone voted for the table weekly, so every Friday I'll update the table. Obviously, no point updating it Friday, Monday. But Matisse, you got 5 points this week. Saeed got 5 points. I got 5 points. Grizz got 4. Tobes and Steve got 2. So the lead has been cut at the top. The lead has been cut.
Hi,
Steve, I'm coming for you, man. Steve, I'm coming for you.
So what did you say, Matisse? 3-0, yeah?
Yeah, 3-0, yeah.
All right. Tobes?
Yeah, I'm going for 3-0 as well. I saw, I think Ashley Barnes is injured. I think Chris Wood picked up an injury at Stamford Bridge as well. I don't think Burnley are the type of team to keep Man City at bay, and they ain't got any goals right now. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Man City 3-0 win as well.
3-0. And let's move over to Liverpool then. Grizz, what's your thoughts on the game? Brighton at home. They just picked up a big win.
I like Brighton. And I'm not saying it after they beat Spurs. I've been saying that I'm a Potter fan, man. I think he's a good coach. I think he can coach at a higher level. I definitely think he can. The problem he's got at Brighton is the finishing. The finishers are not as deadly as the play, deserves. Some of their football's quite good to watch, He plays the right way. We're decimated, guys. We're decimated. But if we play anything like we played against West Ham and Spurs, we should tuck them away. Prediction, I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
2-0, yeah? I think the floodgates are going to open a little bit now. What did you get? 3-1 away wins against better opposition. I think Salah's now broken his ducts.
It will depend on if Mane's back. It's 50-50 with Mane. I know Shaq's been good. Origi, he had a better game, but he's still not our level. Do you know what I mean? So that's the only reason I'm going 2-0. Otherwise, if the usual front three lads were on point, then I'd predict more. But 2-0, I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a 3-0. Steve, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm saying 3-0.
3-0 as well. Matisse?
I'm gonna go 3-1. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1. 3-1 win for Liverpool. Yeah.
Defensive problem.
That's defense.
Saeed, what's your prediction?
I'm gonna go with 2-1 Liverpool. I feel like they will concede one. I feel like with Dunk and Ben White, I feel like they could get something aerially. Even though for me, I thought West Ham were going to get. I'm so disappointed, West Ham, man. You know what I mean? This was their chance, man. You know what I mean, to go and get something out of Liverpool, but this is what happens in it. You know what I mean? But yeah, 2-1 Liverpool. 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool, and last is Tobes. What's your prediction, bro?
Yeah, I'm with SAEED as well. I think it'll be 2-1. I think Brighton will go there, impose themselves as they normally do. But I feel like Liverpool are in good form and Brighton will make it an open game, which suits Liverpool to a T. So, yeah, I can see that Liverpool winning.
Before we move back over to SAEED, people hit the like button because we've got about 10 minutes left to get through the last few predictions, last couple of games of the week. Make sure you guys hit the like button, get it up to 1,000 before we log off for the night. And obviously we'll be back again on Friday, 10 p.m. But you can catch each and every one of us individually on Twitter, Instagram, or on YouTube. And that's every single day, more or less, give or take. But we'll let you guys know the socials and all of that at the end, but it's in the description anyway. So just look down below. SAEED, Man United, Southampton.
Yeah, man. I think this is a tough game, man. I think a lot of people will probably think this is an easy 3 points, but the way Southampton played against Villa, I thought they were so unfortunate to not get a result there. I mean, that handball, guys. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Reason for that not to be a handball. I think Southampton, Hasenhüttl, very, very. I don't know if he's underrated anymore. I think he's rated within the Premier League game now. I think he's got his respects now. He's a top coach. It'll be a tough game. I remember last year I was screaming my head off when Gineppo scored the last minute winner, but we just sat back and they played through us. Ward-Prowse and Romeo, that double pivot there, for me, good as anyone in the Premier League in terms of the way they keep the ball aggressive. You know what I mean? They win the ball back. You know what I mean? And they squeeze up the pitch. And that guy on the left-hand side, I bought from Celtic, man. You know what I mean? You think it's a basic winger, but the guy does a lot for Southampton, Do you know what I mean? It's crazy, man. It's going to be a tough game, man. You know what, man? I feel like it's going to be a draw, man, I don't know what it is, I feel like it's just like we're not playing well. We've not been playing well for about since the Leeds game. We've been just getting results, winning the odd game. You know what, man? I want to back United, and I feel like I should do, even though I think, the result might be otherwise. But I'm going to go with a shaky 2-1, I feel like maybe Rashford to get the win or something like that, man, because I can't see this game, man. Sheffield United, very, very good in terms of way not Sheffield United, Southampton, the way they play football. And Man United at home, we're not very good, man. We're not convincing. So I'm going to go with 2-1 United, mate.
2-1. And you're right about Hasenhüttl as well. I think he's a
very, very good coach.
To be honest, looking at the current situation, if any club of the big six, it's probably going to be Tottenham if Jose doesn't go too well. I don't know. Tobes, do you think Hasenhüttl would be next up or one of the next in line if it doesn't work out with Jose? Because of the Southampton link, the Pochettino, all of that.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think he'll be a manager that we'll look at if Jose Mourinho gets sacked. But that's a big if. I can't see that happening because it's going to cost us too much money. But as I said earlier on in the podcast, his biggest strength is his ability to squeeze literally everything out of every single player in his squad. And he's the type to rejuvenate players who are lacking. Vestergaard, for instance, everyone's talking about him as this amazing centre-back this season. He signed 2 seasons ago, and he's been an absolute bum in the Premier League for 2 seasons. Ralph Hasenhüttl.
You got an agenda against Vestergaard, didn't it? Bloody hell, man.
Agenda. It's the truth. He's come in now, and within a season and a bit, Vestergaard is looking like one of the better centre-backs in the league. So he has that trait that Daniel Levy will want. And we all know you're not going to get a war chest like you do at Chelsea or Man City. So you literally have to work with what you got. And I think he's one of the best managers in the league at doing that.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that game then, Muzzle? At home.
Man United at home, innit? Southampton, they got a draw there last time. They were unfortunate to get to lose to Aston Villa. I felt like if anything, they deserved the win instead of Aston Villa. But I can see them possibly trying to get a reaction out of this game. But I can also see the same with Man United. I don't know. What's the team news, SAEED?
I think it's more similar to think. I think McTominay should be back. But yeah, more or less the same. It's just whether what does Ollie do with the front three? What does Ollie do with the back? You know what I mean? That's a key decision, mate. You don't know what Ollie's doing, man. That's a problem, mate. You know what I mean? that game against Arsenal, you know what I mean? I don't know what he was doing, Popper on the right before McTominay got injured. It's just all a mess, mate. Ollie don't know what he's doing, mate. But
You know what? I'm gonna go for a draw. I feel like Man United hate teams that press the defense. I know their defense has been in recent form, but Man United can't. They don't know what to do against a team with a fully organized press. And I feel like Southampton can nick something here. So I'm gonna go for a 2-2 like last season.
2-2, yeah?
Yeah.
Matisse.
I've got a feeling about Southampton, you know. I feel like every time I predict a Man United score, you know what I mean, it's always negative, and it's not on purpose, I swear down. But I'm going to go over 3-2.
Do your thing, man. Do your thing.
They got Minamino now as well, ain't it?
You know, it's me and Saeed's predictions. Every
week we're
betting against each other's team.
Every week.
Thing, man. Listen, Matisse, do your thing, man. I always say to you, do your thing, bro. You know them ones.
No, but seriously, I think Southampton can cause you man problems. Seriously, I think I'm gonna go over 3-2 because, like I said, I need points on the prediction. So if no one's gonna go for
3-2 Southampton, yeah,
3-2 Southampton. I think there's gonna be goals in this game.
Wow, that's a bold one. But it was 3-2 to you, man, first time, man. No.
What do you mean,
Saeed? It was
Southampton.
Southampton. Yeah. Southampton got good game, man. Cavani with the winner.
Yeah, over to you, Steve.
It's tough. I can see United edging it, but I'm looking at Southampton, and you know they have been unlucky. I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to go with Matisse. I'm going to say Southampton get a result. I'm going to say it's the end of the gingerbread road with the gingerbread man. I can see that squeaky Tunzabi shout coming out all over the airwaves again at weekend.
That's if it starts. Steve. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? But listen, prediction league, and because I don't really care about United, I'm going to say 2-1 Southampton. Let all the hate come in the comments. And in fact, I hope Southampton absolutely lever him, to be honest.
In fact, no.
I think that'll be the title race done if that happens, right?
Yeah, you finished then. That's it. Game over. No parties in Dusseldorf then.
Did you say title race? Did you say title race?
Title race, yeah, title race.
Title race. But
we are in it though, Chris. We are in it, man. You can't knock that down. We are in it. Like you're 1 point behind us, but you're still in it,
because I'm not in a position to speak in it.
That's what I'm saying, Matisse. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You have your time, but don't worry, man. Say that.
Grizz, what's your prediction for the game, Man United? Southampton?
I think it's going to be tricky. I rate Southampton. I rate their coach. I need to think about these predictions because, you know, I'm not a man who takes defeat lightly, and I'm at the bottom of this table. So I need to start. I need to start changing my strategy. I need to start doing what I think as opposed to what I want to happen. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna say 1-1. I think it's going to be 1-1.
1-1. Imagine that, because that's exactly what I put down as well. I think 1-1. It's going to be one of those games, in my opinion, that it could be either way or 1-1. Yeah. You know, it's one of those games. It's hard to predict. And the thing about Southampton is, last week we played them. They were actually so poor last week, but then against Villa, they was unlucky. I think United, the form they're in, I'm going with 1-1. I'm sticking with 1-1, and we'll move on to Arsenal. Before we do, we're nearly wrapping up, people. Make sure you hit the like button, get it up to 1,000 before we leave. And over to was it Wolves Arsenal, last one. And Wolves this season, I'm not sure, I'm not sure what's gone on. Is Nuno's job, safe?
No, he's still there, man. He deserves respect, man, Nuno. What he's built over that team, man, the way he's brought them from the Championship. I think every Wolverhampton fan should respect Nuno, what he's built at that football club. He deserves every time there is, man. You know what I mean? And I don't, it's not my kind of style of manager, but what he's done for that club, European, was it quarterfinals I went last season? Do you know what I mean? You got to respect it, man. Yeah, quarterfinals, Sevilla, they lost out Sevilla, didn't they? Yeah. Quarterfinals, man. You know what I mean? You've got to give respect to the guy, man. I just feel like there'll be a late bloomer. I think that they'll have this little patch and then they'll have a strong end to the season. They always do this, you know what I mean? They'll always start off quite poor and then they come up. And man, do you want to give me a prediction as well, or?
Well, I'll kick this one off and say 2-2.
Yeah, go on.
2-2. I'm going with 2-2. I think.
Yeah.
again, I'm a bit hesitant to be optimistic about Arsenal. I know our form has turned. But I'm just a bit hesitant. And I think Wolves need to, have a good performance sooner or later. I think we're all pretty much in agreement with Saeed there regarding Nuno and his safety. But I just think that Neto, Podence, they're players that can cause us problems, depending on who plays for us. Luiz and Holding at centre back. It's a very different test to the one we just faced. It's a very different setup. So I'm gonna go 2-2 draw. Saeed, what's yours?
I'm gonna go for a boring 0-0, mate. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I feel like Arsenal, I don't know if they have enough to kind of win the game. And I feel Wolves will be happy with a draw. That's the Nuno mentality. Just get the get back to basics, get a draw here, and then build it on from there. So I'm gonna go with a 0-0.
Another 0-0. Matisse.
Is Saka? What's the availability of your players? Because there's been problems now with players missing, isn't it? Is anyone coming back for this game?
To be honest, I haven't even watched the press conference yet. I don't actually know right now what's going on. If I'm honest with you,
comments will let us know. Let the comments let us know.
To be honest with you, the last few fixtures, even the press conferences haven't said much because we didn't know Saka was going to be missing until he was missing. We didn't know Tierney was going to be missing until the lineups have come out. We haven't known. Oba, another one. Literally 3 big players in the past 2 weeks have.
They're all saying Saka and Uba are going to be back. So I'm going to go over Arsenal win then 2-1 because if them two are back, then there's goals. Do you know what I mean? Then there's goals. You know what I'm saying?
2-1, yeah?
Yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal.
TOBS?
Saka and Oba back. I'm agreeing with Matisse. I feel like the bubbles burst a little bit for Wolves this season. They've changed from a back 5 to a back 4 now. Moutinho, the wear and tear starting to show now, 35 years old. No Raul Jimenez for a large part of the season. But to be honest, even when they had him, they weren't really that convincing. I just don't think they've played well enough this season. And as stubborn as they are, I can see Arsenal grinding out a result there. I reckon it'll end 2-1 to Arsenal.
2-1 as well.
Yeah.
What about you, Grizz?
It's at Wolves, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they turned you over, didn't they? 1-0 or something. 1-0, wasn't it?
No, 1-1. Was it 2-1? 2-1.
2-1. I think it's going to be a drab affair as well, man. I think it's good. Yeah, stalemate. 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah. I'm going for 1-1.
And lastly, Steve.
I think Arsenal will win. I think that Jimenez missing for Wolves is a big part of what they're about. All the crosses going in the box now. There's no one on the end of it. Like Toby says, Moutinho's looking a bit old and jaded. It's just not clicking at the minute for them. I think they need a bit of a refresh. But I can see Arteta's team getting a result. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. I'm backing Arteta. I have done ever since I started this show, and I think he'll get a result there.
2-0. So we've got another mix there. There's a couple of fixtures there where we all predict the same thing with Man City and Liverpool, but the other ones are all over the gaff. So definitely this Friday there'll be some changes to that prediction table. Steve might not even be top anymore. Who knows? We'll see. This Friday, I'll put it up again at the end of the show this Friday. Make sure you guys are there. Still 1,800, nearly 1,900 people still tuning in live. 700 likes, 300 likes more. Get it up there, people. And obviously, there's the Big Six channel as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Big Six channel, where this summer, me, Steve, Grizz, Tobes, Matisse, and Saeed will all provide more content for that channel, including more Big Six shows more times a week. So make sure you guys subscribe to that channel and subscribe to every single one of these guys here. United Central, Saeed, MAH from Matisse. What is it, Tobes again? Tottenham Tobes.
Nah, I changed it to Tapping.
Tapping Tobes. That's it. I need to get my head around that one. I can't lie to you. Tapping Tobes. Grizz, LFC Day Trippers. Big Steve hasn't got a channel yet, but hopefully maybe one day you'll get one out of him. it's rare to find City fans online, especially genuine ones. You know.
You know what though, right? I'll be honest with you. Loads of people message me every day saying, "Let's get a channel, get a channel." I ain't got a clue how to set a channel up. Probably ain't got a time for a channel. But one day, if there's anyone out there who wants to set me a channel up, you know, get me on there. Let's do it.
Worry, Steve, man. If that's the case, me and you, we will talk anyway, because we're going to be talking about the Big Six channel this summer. We'll have to set you up with something. So it only makes sense for you to have your own channel too. So we'll talk offline about that, and we'll make something happen for you, man. Because it only makes sense. Good opinions, and we got a super chat here from Paul, and he's asking, before we go, do you think Ainsley will have a small-minded mentality, even though alone at West Brom? Good game time, but right move. Does it worry you knowing what West Brom are like as a club, how he will play? Listen, me and Ainsley, Paul, we've never really seen eye to eye anyway. I haven't been one of those guys that, you know, I have saw something in him that wants me to hold on to him. I think that this summer just gone, Wolves is interested in 15, 20 mil. You take that and you reinvest. You add to it, you reinvest. Yeah. Now, 6 months later, from rejecting 15, 20 mil, we're letting him go for free on loan to West Brom, who are going to go down, and he's not going to have the greatest, you know, time in the next 5 months. We might get more minutes there, but it's at a team that have very little possession. It's at a team that are going to have very little attacking prowess regardless. So for me, Ainsley, we made a mistake not selling him already, and this summer we should look to move on finally. And oh yeah, the top 4 prediction. Have you had a quick think about that?
Yeah,
I think we needed another few days to think about it.
Yeah, man.
Weeks, man. I genuinely can't give you one for Fred.
We do Friday then.
We do Friday. We do that Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. So whoever it was that sent that chat, super chat asking about the top 4,
we'll definitely do it. We'll definitely do it.
You'll be back Friday. If you're not, catch it after. But I agree with these guys. I think let's just do a little bit more investigation into form and the points and all that, and then determine our predictions then. But big up everyone. Appreciate you guys coming on again. Like I said, the channels, the links are all in the description box below. Thanks for all the support as always, people. We are out for the night. Everyone take care. Peace.
Big up.